Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Mr. Lamar.
Yes, present.
Mr. Criticus. Sorry.
Can we start again? Let's start over, can we? Okay. All right, Columbia Township meeting. Let's call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Mr. Lamar.
Present.
Mr. Criticus. No, I did it again.
Can we start over again? I'm offended.
I'm so sorry.
Kim's not paying her this morning.
Okay, all right.
When's your election?
All right, all right.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, all right. Columbia Township meeting. Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Mr. Lamar.
Present.
Mr. Kubicki.
Present.
Ms. Hughes.
Yes, present.
Okay, now we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, with that, I make a motion to approve the signing of the meeting minutes, the regular meeting minutes of August 11, 2020. Do I hear a second?
Second?
Roll call.
Mr. Lamar.
Yes.
Mr. Kubicki.
Yes.
Ms. Hughes.
Yes.
Okay, now we move on to open forum. Do we have anything from open forum?
Yes, there is an email, and it's from Burdett or Burdell Barber. Sorry, I'm not sure. It just says, "Hi, I'm a homeowner on Ebersole, sending a note to express my gratitude." Thank you. Of the road construction crew. Not only are they professional, they're also friendly, courteous, and gladly answer any questions we may have. Greatly appreciated. Keep up the good work. 3 exclamation points. Thank you. And I would also point out that the Neiman Company and John Cervisi should take some credit for that, and John is on that site every day as the site inspector.
Excellent.
That's all I have.
And the only thing I'll add to that is I had a conversation with Charles Garner about some other issues, and he was very, very, very complimentary. They own the barber shop down on Worcester Pike, and also a couple of properties over on Plainville Road, but he was just overly complimentary of our services and our staff about the services can't get any better. So thank Mr. Garner for giving that, and thank you to Mr. Cervisi and his gang. Also Jeff Ayers has, with COVID hitting, he owns Jersey Mike's over in the Marymount Promenade. He went out of his way to track me down. I was walking to the hardware store because I haven't seen him in a bit, to thank us for our CARES program, for lack of a better term, we did for the restaurants, and how much that really helped him. And so did Jesse Oñate from Flip Daddies. I know they didn't end up surviving it, but he's still trying to make something out of it. But again, he couldn't be more appreciative and thankful that that helped him make payroll for his staff and give him a wish and a prayer and some hope. So again, I pass it on to everybody that was supportive of this, and it's nice to hear those positive comments.
It
So,
is.
Yeah.
yeah. So, and we've heard others as well, but I just want to at least pass those on for this meeting. That we move on. Anything else from open forum? Then we move on to reports. Road Superintendent report. Do we have any questions, anything to add, any thoughts? That, and we move on to the police report, Lieutenant Enderly.
So, I did not have the August report completed in time for today's meeting. I'm still waiting on information from the criminal investigative section. So I hope to have that within the next couple of days. What I would also like to just talk about briefly is we're once again going to be participating in the DEA's National Drug Take-Back Program. This is a biannual program that unfortunately April's date was canceled due to the COVID. So this is going to be on Saturday, October 24th at the Village of Silverton's Administration Building at 6943 Montgomery Road from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Area residents are encouraged to bring any unused prescription medications to the building there, and we will take those and dispose of them properly. And some more information can be found on the DEA's website, and that's a flyer that I just gave to you. So,
Okay.
other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
We'll put that on our website also.
Okay. That we move on to the fiscal officer's report with Ms. Heekin.
August is the point of the third quarter, which is where we are. The general fund balance is $2,721,471, which is down 1% from July. Restricted funds are $4,740,562, which is a decrease of 4% from July. These funds combined total $7,462,033, which is a decrease of 3% from July. Revenues for the month of August were $229,610. Expenses were $476,308. Year-to-date revenues, $3,522,366. Expenses, $2,896,415. In September, we will receive our second biannual property tax settlement from the auditor for the second half of the year, and our next significant revenue receipt will not occur until April of 2021 with the first half property tax settlement. Voter-approved levy revenues do not fully cover the cost of the township's public services. So again, thanks to Columbia Township's success in attracting and supporting businesses, we're able to use these significant JEDS revenues to continue to provide residents with a high quality and level of services. The trustees and our professional staff are committed to conservative budgeting practices.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now we move on to the administrator's report with Ms. Taylor.
So I have a few really nice things to share this evening. So you may have noticed when you drove up, we have nice, shiny, new garage doors. They look brand new, but thanks to our staff, John and his crew, Jamie, Jim, and Dustin, the doors were in poor shape and the frames were in poor shape. They sanded and bonded and primed and painted, and now we have glossy black doors that match our 1960s exterior. We really appreciate their effort on that. I always try to do a thank you to our staff to open my report. Columbia Township has 2 new SUVs that we put into service in August, and Lieutenant Enderly took a picture of both of them when they went into service in front of our newly painted doors, so that was great timing. So we have a total of 6 vehicles in our fleet, and so now the 2 are new. On August 20th, we did a small celebration of the opening of the US 50 crosswalk on Wooster Pike. We invited leaders, elected leaders, fire and police officials from all of our neighboring communities. We had an incredible turnout from Marymount, Fairfax, Newtown, Madeira, Terrace Park, Indian Hill, and Anderson. And we're going to be putting out a picture showing all of the elected officials and the uniformed officers stretched out across the complete span of the crosswalk. But what I wanted to share tonight in our meeting is that we're working with 50 West to plan a community event later this month because of the requirement for parking and also for social distancing. We'll do an event over a weekend. It's one of the things that we were talking with 50 West about, so look for that. We'll post that shortly, so then people can come and go over the entire weekend and we won't have the concentration all at one time. Also on the subject of crosswalks, we did, in preparation for the crosswalk opening and in the first few weeks of the crosswalk's opening, we worked with Pete and his team, as well as with ODOT, to put together 2 messages, one for motorists and one for pedestrians and cyclists. And so the messaging for motorists was in the form of dynamic message boards that we rented and put on each side of the crosswalk with flashing signs to remind people that a new crosswalk is coming, slow down, and also a reminder that it's the state law for vehicles to give way to pedestrians and cyclists in the crosswalk. And then the sheriff's office provided special detail for us for the first couple of weeks during peak hour on peak days by parking in the center lane, and it completely changes the dynamic of the speed of traffic and the attention of motorists through that area when you're parked there, you and your guys are parked there. So it was all an educational process. And then for the pedestrians and cyclists, our second message was to cross with care. Just because it's the state law that motorists should stop doesn't mean that they do. So we worked with John Zervisi and his crew to create sandwich boards and place them on each side of the crosswalk entrance. And for the first week, we had Columbia Township colored balloons, very noticeable, so that when people walk up, they can see that message and check and make sure before they step out and cross. So the great thing about the crosswalk is that it is now a designated place for people to cross instead of the dash across that was occurring before, but it still requires for motorists to pay attention and for pedestrians and cyclists to cross with care. So that was our campaign with the opening. Wanted to mention that Little Miami Joint Fire and Rescue District has reopened CPR training, and because they have such a beautiful building in the garage part of the firehouse, they can open the garage doors on nice days and they can spread the classes out. So that's like a backup training room. So they have restarted doing that for any of the businesses or residents that want to sign up for those classes. I wanted to pass that on. And let's see. More great things happening. Madison Place Coffee Shop opened Labor Day weekend, and I know that Susan has some comments when we get to the trustee, her trustee report, but I'll just briefly say that Susan and I stopped in on Saturday and saw a lot of new faces and saw a lot of familiar faces, and had amazing coffee, amazing tea, French pastries, and custom deli sandwiches. And while we were there, we met in the lower level of the coffee shop. There is a chocolatier, Elan's Raw Chocolate, and they presented us with a gift, and we wanted to share it on television and with the other trustees. They're making, it is dark chocolate sourced from the Amazon in Peru, the Peru section of Amazon. Beautifully done. I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but we wanted to share. These are gift boxes, individually wrapped dark chocolates with different flavors, beautifully done. And so we have a new business, not only on the main floor with the coffee shop, but a chocolatier, again, Elan's Raw Chocolate, in the lower level, and also on the second floor, market rate apartments plus an Airbnb studio. So it's fabulous, and I know Susan will go into a lot more detail about that in her report. Our Porsche expansion is underway, so more great news as well. We want to remind everyone that it's an active construction site. There's heavy machinery, there are materials such as rebar and concrete, and so the construction site has been fenced. This is for our residents' safety and also for the safety of the, a lot of people are curious and are enjoying watching the progress on that project. So if anyone has any questions, we have a great relationship with Schumacher Dugan, the contractor, and Chris Wannenberg is at Schumacher Dugan, and he suggested that I give out his number, 513-777-9800. That's 777-9800. If anyone has any questions about the project or the site or anything, Chris said he would be happy to talk with you. I know Chris from when I was at Westchester many years ago, a great guy to work with, and so if you have any questions, I know he'll take really good care of you. Moffett and Ebersole reconstruction is continuing today. We began paving. We did curbs the last few weeks, and today paving is underway for estimated completion sometime late next month or early November. Our other road project that is under construction is in Hillendale, and construction is now underway on Hillendale. That started in August as well, and it'll be a full reconstruction and a Cincinnati Water Works replacement project, and the estimated completion is spring of 2021. With the crosswalk open, we now dropped from 3 projects to 2. So John Cervisi, our road superintendent, is on Moffett, Nebersole, and Hillendale daily overseeing the construction. Our next edition of Columbia Township's The Voice will be out this month, probably in another couple of weeks. So look for that. It's an action-packed issue, multiple pages. The 2018-2019 Ohio audit of Columbia Township, as well as Columbia Township Fairfax Jed Z, actually began in May and was supposed to be done mid-July. They had to suspend some audits as a result of staff shortages at the auditor's office related to remote working and COVID and other issues. They have restarted our audit and the Jed Z audit, and possibly looking at another month now for that. So that has stretched out across the entire summer. And then the last thing I would like to share this evening is that Dustin Montgomery, our economic developer from HCDC, the county, using CARES sub-allocated funds from the U.S. Treasury, originally in the summer did a small business grant. And it was so popular that the amount of funding that they had allocated, I think literally within a day or two of them opening the grant round, was gone. So they worked to secure additional funds and announced in late August a new round. And Dustin, as our economic developer, sent a customized email blast to all of the township businesses that he had contact information for, reminding them that we wanted to promote this opportunity to them. And so I have a snapshot of his email to them for you in my report. That closed this past Friday. Any questions? Busy month.
The only question, do you have any idea when the Porsche expansion completion might be? I know you said it goes into 2021, but how long?
Probably through next summer.
Okay.
So started late this summer and continue through next summer.
Okay, that we move on to the Little Miami Fire and Rescue District report. So we'll go back to you, Melissa.
I don't have anything specific for Little Miami. I moved it up and put it in my administrator's
Okay,
report.
got it. Okay, and which is appropriate. Okay, anything more to report with the Deer Park Silverton Fire District? Is it anything new to add to that?
No.
Okay, that we
Monthly
move on.
statistics.
That we move on to trustees' reports. Susan?
Like she said, we went Saturday, and I can't tell you how nice it was. It was far beyond what I thought. They have a baby grand piano. You're welcome to come in and play if you know how to play. They have a whole, like this whole wall, it was nothing but books. They welcome you to come in and read. It really is a gathering place. And out on the patio, they have tables. And there were people that brought their pet with them, their dog. And it was such a success. I happened to go back the next day to purchase that coffee candy, and there were quite a few dogs there. And I had just lost mine, so I sat down and talked to all of them. And it was 6 young girls, and I told them I wanted to do something in the township with dogs. So maybe a dog parade. Oh, they were so excited, David. They said, we will be there. And they walked off, and they by themselves was a dog parade. There was they were just really wonderful dogs. And I can't tell you how nice the place is. And all the people that were there were so nice. And their outfits, it's just really a classy coffee shop.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you. Brian, anything to add?
I'll add on to Susan's. I went in today and they said they had made 400 drinks on Saturday. We're very overwhelmed. So I wasn't in town. I would have shown up then, but I showed up today, and they were excited for a little relief today after the long weekend. But I concur with everything you said. It's a beautiful place.
It was packed.
Yeah.
And the street was jumping. I don't know if that's still a word. Your sons will have to help us on that one, but the street was jumping. There
Awesome.
baby strollers and cyclists and walkers and.
It was lit, I believe I would say.
Lit, is that the new
It was
word, lit?
Yeah.
Okay, the street was lit, so it was great to see.
And I had no trouble parking.
No, I didn't either.
That's good.
All good. And I was out of town as well for the grand opening or what have you, but I did go in today, and it is beautiful. I'd seen it under construction, but they've done a magnificent job. Highly recommend it, and kudos to them and everything they've done to invest in the community. It's a beautiful place. So I concur with you on that.
Yeah, and they have a meeting room.
And thanks for going to that too. Okay, that, we move on to communications. Any question about the communications?
I just would like to point out a really nice article about Brian's appointment featuring quotes from you and from Susan that was picked up by Cincinnati.com and then placed in the community press.
Mhm.
So, really nice.
Thank you for
Coverage.
thank you for being willing to jump on this
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, well, thank you. And also, someone wrote me a letter from the community with the cut out of the newspaper and sent it to me.
Oh, really?
So a resident
Nice.
sent that to me, so
Nice.
I'll reach out to them myself, but that was really nice of them because I hadn't seen it in print.
It's always nice to hear good things, isn't it?
Yes.
So, okay, that said, we move on to resolutions, and with that, I'm going to hand it back over to you again, Melissa.
Okay, great. We have two resolutions this evening. The first is one reading only. It is a supplemental resolution. As I've mentioned before, we finalized the budget for each year in the July preceding the year, so when we're a year later, as we are now, more than a year later, any adjustments that we have to make, we do as a supplemental resolution. This includes two. The first line is for the medical office building tax increment financing. So these are funds that come into the township from the tax increment financing district, and then we pay out funds toward the cost of the public improvements associated with the tax increment financing district. So this isn't just an accounting action. And the second is the state's CARES grant, Coronavirus Relief Fund, CRF. They increased the amount by $28,000 on the grant. So we have to accept that into our account. So that was great. So I have read are there any questions? All right.
No.
I've read the title of the resolution. May I have a motion and a second to pass the resolution?
So moved by Mrs. Hughes.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Lamar?
Yes.
Mr. Kubicki?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Okay, the resolution is adopted and in effect. The second resolution is an emergency measure related to the timing of a grant opportunity. Hamilton, I just mentioned in the prior resolution a financial adjustment due to the state CARES grant. This is an opportunity through Hamilton County, which received funds also from the U.S. Treasury for addressing coronavirus needs in the county. The county put together a small grant rapid response program for local governments to be able to use to address an immediate need in our community relating to a particular category involved with either economic development or public infrastructure, and a project that could be underway within 30 days. We put together a grant ask for creating outdoor dining capacity at the Promenade on Wooster, where we have 4 restaurants that are in a row. The minimum for this grant application was $25,000. The maximum was $50,000. So it's a nice amount of money, but it's not a huge amount of money. So we knew that we needed to make the grant go really far, and the perfect opportunity presented because of the 4 restaurants that happen to be co-located together and have no outdoor dining. So we put together this grant, and it is under the Retain and Create Jobs category, and submitted it. And if the trustees approve for us to accept the grant and then move forward with the project, the grant selection committee has already notified that we were the first grant awarded in the county. And then they used our example for outdoor dining capacity through fall and winter, so including portable heaters and such, to extend the season during this very prolonged pandemic for our small family-owned restaurants. And so they sent that out to the county. All of the different communities in the county is an example of best practice use of these funds. So that was a great opportunity here. So my ask this evening is that you authorize me to accept the grant on our behalf and then to move forward with coordinating the project.
I move on that.
Do you have any
second.
comments to make? Any? Okay.
I think this is a fantastic way
It's
to.
wonderful.
So kudos to you and
Yes.
the community. This is fantastic for the community, so.
Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah, and at that point, kudos to Melissa for digging up the grant. We
Yeah.
came up with the idea and the invention
Yeah.
and kind of making sure these guys succeed, so kudos to you for finding this.
So because of our focus on supporting our businesses, small family-owned, large corporate, and everything in between, when these types of opportunities present, we have, ideas that flow and are able to jump on these. Had we not already been in that mode, we would have had to spend weeks probably coming up with something, but because we already know what we're trying to do for our businesses, this
Well,
was
the whole idea is to
immediate.
create a better experience at the Marymount Promenade. As you
Yeah.
drive by the Quarter and other restaurants, and you see the outdoor dining and the Dilly Deli, and you see it just adds that kind
Yes.
of, I want to be there. And the idea is, how do we go take some of these restaurants that are trying to survive and say, maybe the township could go find ways to get the money to create solutions that make the places more exciting, more approachable, especially with COVID. So that was it. So Melissa and I kind of dreamed up an idea, then she came up with the grants, we approached the developer, so this is magic. I mean, this really is, and it could totally change the dynamics of that whole center.
Yeah.
So, thank you for taking an idea and taking it and dreaming and
Prefer
making
to-
it all work.
You do
So
the
this is
ideas,
good.
I'll find the money. Everything. You guys come with the ideas, I'll find the money.
I like it, I like it.
I'm your money man.
I like it, so, because it's hard, I mean, again, being in the development business, it's hard to go take some of these restaurants that are probably struggling to even pay rent.
Yeah.
And you got the developers that are probably struggling to want to go spend any money to go help them, but it's a conundrum they're in. So the question is, what can the community do to go make these places more exciting? Because you don't want to more, at this moment, you don't want to really invest a lot in restaurants because you're afraid of what's going to happen, how can they survive? And so this was a really cool opportunity. And again, I think it'll change the experience of that whole center. So,
And look,
great, yes.
well, thank
The-
you. Thank you. So, accepting Hamilton County CDBG, which stands for Community Development Block Grant, CV, Coronavirus Grant Funds for restaurant outside dining dedicated areas, dispensing with the second reading, and declaring an emergency. I've read the title of the resolution. As a first reading, may I have a motion and a second to dispense with the second reading.
I move to dispense.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Lamar?
Yes.
Mr. Kubicki?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
We have dispensed with the second reading. May I have a motion and a second to pass the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Lamar?
Yes.
Mr. Kubicki?
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
Ms.
May I, I'm sorry.
That's right.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Thank you.
But
Sorry.
it was already approved too.
All right, the runs.
So she was right.
One more. Sorry. Are you ready for me?
I'm ready.
I should look up, I should take a breath. I'm so excited. Money. The resolution is adopted. May I have a motion and a second to invoke the emergency clause?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Lamar?
Yes.
Mr. Kubicki?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Thank you.
The emergency clause is invoked and the resolution is now effective. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is all of our resolutions for the evening.
Okay. Move on to old business. Any old business to discuss? Any new business to discuss?
I'd like to just bring up something that was not included in my report. I would like to develop a database of all the area residents that actually have, either the Nest or the Ring doorbells or cameras. And that would be just a database would be kept in-house by us, would not be shared with the public. And the purpose of this is if we have, criminal activity that's being reported, we may be able to go right to, a home that may be 2 or 3 doors down or a street over and request access to that footage. It's completely a volunteer thing, voluntary. I know some folks are a little hesitant about sharing information with government entities and whatnot, so, that's something that I.
Could go directly to you, we could,
Correct.
we could.
So what
set
you're
that up.
saying is if something happened in the street, somebody got hit or a car accident or bike or whatever, that if you knew somebody, they might have footage of it that you
Correct,
might ask for?
exactly.
Okay.
Right, right, and you may, you know, a homeowner may not, may not be able to solve something that occurred on their street, but it could have occurred in the next neighborhood or several streets over. So what I plan to do is forward all my contact information to Melissa, so she can actually put that out in the voice. And then the residents can actually, contact me. And I'll
Directly.
keep that information in-house and will also be shared with.
So
the
you would only
investigator.
take the knowledge that they have it, and in the case that if a crime was committed, you would ask them for footage
That is absolutely correct.
on an individual occurrence? Got
Yes.
it. That seems pretty innocuous then.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Okay, understood. Great thought. Okay?
And you're not remotely accessed,
One
would have to
thing.
Go
go
ahead.
to their home.
Sorry, on the subject of the outdoor dining, I had an email from Jeff Ayers, who owns Jersey Mike's Promenade. He writes, on March 16th, 2020, my restaurant world changed. I had just celebrated my 1-year Jersey Mike's anniversary on the Friday before. Since then, we have been using our outdoor patio seating through the summer. It has given us more patronage dining during this COVID pandemic. We would have lost a great deal more of sales without the patio. Even the construction workers across the street at Marymount High School love it. They even eat subs on their truck tailgates. A fun view. We must continue dining outdoors as long as the weather can allow.
And Jeff and Glenn Ayers are great, great operators over there. Anybody that likes Jersey Mike's, which I'm a big fan of, that's an incredible operation. You walk in there, like going to a store, you just feel good. They really have it together, have a great vibe, great energy, and obviously great food. So, okay. That, I make a motion to approve the payment of bills, bank reconciliation, and financial reports. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Lamar?
Yes.
Mr. Kubicki?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Okay, any announcements? Okay. I make a motion to the signing the minutes of the minutes and resolutions. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Lamar?
Yes.
Mr. Kubicki?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Okay, I'm the only person tonight that did not make a mistake. I just want to say that for the record, okay? And now I make a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second?
Yes. Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Lamar?
Yes.
Mr. Kubicki?
Yes.
Ms. Hughes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great stuff.